So this is no sad Saturdays. All right, you gotta be happy. No being sad. And if you are sad, that is valid and acceptable. But I don't want you to be sad. We're here to try to have a good time. I was sad like all week, so I've done like zero content for the most part. Started back a little bit yesterday, but that's good. Sometimes it's good to just take a week off, take a break, think about what is important to you and what you want to do, and then come back to it. And so that went with that workout routine that I told you I started last week. Yeah, I got like 2 days in, was feeling real good about it, and now hopefully I'll start back today. But that's okay. Here's a story that I'll tell you that was once told to me as an inspirational thing. It is more important to start something than to finish. And what that means is it's better to do anything than to worry about the overall end goal of what you're doing. So like instead of being like, oh, well, if I start this workout routine, I got to do it every single day. I got to do it next week and this week. No, 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 no. Today I'm going to work out. And if that makes me feel better, we'll see what I do tomorrow. Um, and a good analogy for this and why this is important and how this can help create positive habits is I was told this story to where there were two teachers. Or no, sorry, one teacher. Only one teacher. There were not two teachers. There's a teacher who teaches photography, and he split his class. I'm struggling here, but we'll make it through. He split his class into two groups. That's where the two came in. See, I was getting ahead of myself. There's a two in this story. One group, he said, you guys, your grade will be on one photo. Take one photo for me, but make it the best photo you can possibly make. You only got to take one. Just turn in the one best photo. And to the other group, he said, your photos aren't scored on how good they are. Just take 1,000 photos of anything. You just have to turn in 1,000 photos. And then at the end of the year, he kind of looked at it and decided which group had produced better photos. And without a doubt, it was the group that took 1,000 because they took more photos and they got more practice. And so their goal wasn't even necessarily to take a good photo. But after doing it for so many attempts, they got better at it. Whereas the other group worried so much about what perfection was and how to get to this end goal of this one specific thing. And so they didn't really ever improve. They didn't have any practice. They were just hypothetically trying to reach a goal that they didn't know how to reach, and they weren't getting the experience to get there easier. And so that's why it's important that you just start something. And so if I work out today, and skip it for a whole nother week and go back to next week and I do another workout and then skip it and go back to next week, maybe then I will do two workouts. But I'm not worried about that right now. I'm worried about what I can do today because today is the only thing that's important to me right now. And so today does affect the future, but if I'm having a bad day, there's no point pushing myself because then I might make tomorrow bad too, and it's just unnecessary. So I'm umming a lot, which is bad because I actually know how to speak. I took a public speaking class and actually did quite well considering. I do not write scripts for any of these though. This is all off the top of the noggin because I'm so smart. Yeah, that's not true. See, I know what I'm doing. I know what's happening. I'm stalling for time. Which there's better ways to do that. I kind of did that. It's still there. It doesn't matter. The point of what I'm trying to actually get to without getting sidetracked, which is very difficult for me to not get sidetracked, is that it's worth trying something and it not being perfect. Because the more you do it, the more attempts you put into something, the better you're going to get at it. You can't get to your hundredth video or podcast or anything without making your first. And so for that reason, the first is very important. You have to just keep trying. Even if you make a video and you get a bunch of hate comments, about why everybody thinks you're a bad content creator. That kind of makes me want to bring up a side point, but I won't, because it's just a sexist asshole being a sexist asshole. Pardon my cussing, but moments like that make it worthwhile. Yeah, so even if people are like, oh, this video sucks, blah, 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 eventually in all of those hate comments, for one, you might get a positive comment, which is the best feeling in the world, that anybody got anything positive out of your content. That's the goals always. And two, somebody might actually give you constructive criticism. So anybody who just says, oh, well, you're bad, don't bother with that. And I know it's easier said than done sometimes. I get it. Sometimes hate comments just hit. But try not to focus on that. Whereas if somebody says, hey, I think your video quality would increase, like they might tell me if I actually wrote stuff down or did cuts or stuff, but I absolutely refuse. I want you guys to see my genuine natural reaction, which was also very difficult to say. But I knew I was going to struggle, so I took time. So yeah, and maybe they'll be like, maybe show some other things, some clips, some scenes. But again, I don't want to do that for specifically this series. Other series I do want to do that for, but specifically for this series, because I want this to be raw, natural, and uncut. But yeah, so essentially the point is, if I can ever stay on topic, I cannot, it is impossible, is that you can find the one or two comments that they're not nice, but they actually give you positive or constructive feedback, and that you can use that to improve yourself. And those are the only negative comments you should pay attention to. That's one thing my drama teacher used to always tell me, is it's constructive criticism. You take what you want out of it and you leave the rest. And the reason that's also as important is because sometimes people are just wrong. Some people might criticize something that everybody else liked. So you can't always listen to everything anybody says anyways, even if it was meant to be constructive. But sometimes if people are being constructive about the same thing over and over again, it would be a positive point to look at and to correct. This video, I feel like this topic, despite the back and forth of me getting distracted constantly, I think it turned out better than I thought it would. So yeah, today's a new day. It's a new opportunity. See what you can do today. Tomorrow, see what you can do tomorrow. And don't make it about an end goal so much as what improvement you can make today and what you can achieve today with how you're feeling. No sad Saturdays. See you guys next week.